We're on time. Bye, buddy.
There you go. Oh.
Bye. Oh, this is on video. The sad goodbyes.
Bye.
Behind the scenes. Oh, I'm not gonna see Brendan till I don't even know. Maybe I.
Till next year.
To infinity and beyond.
Dun, 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 dun.
Safe travels. I'm going back to bed. We said goodbye to Mike and Steve this morning, and I was gonna say that we have so much more room in the vehicle for our stuff, but that would just be a lie, because Jody and I have so much stuff. But we're off on like an 8-hour drive today, really long drive. We're headed to the beach. We're a little over halfway to Puerto Escondido, and it's been a nice drive actually. Lots of open highway, lots of high speeds, and it is hot here. It is so hot. It's like 35 degrees according to the temperature. And I guess we got about 2 hours more of driving until we get to the beach. We made it to Puerto Escondido, and we're taking like a 2-day beach holiday. And when I say beach holiday, what I really mean is a beach recovery. Chiapas was amazing, and we cruised around pretty hard. And as a result, we just got so many dirty clothes, and we're way behind on vlog editing and photo editing and everything like that. So we're taking 2 days, and basically over those 2 days, we're just gonna lay by the pool during the day, lay by the beach, and then spend evenings and when it's too hot in the middle of the day, editing and getting caught up on work. But this vlog's not over. I'm going to go out and take a picture somewhere in Puerto Escondido in the next 2 days, and then I'm actually going to show you how I edit it. So I'm going to take it into Lightroom after and edit it, so stay tuned. We just walked out of the hotel, and Jody just mentioned, I really hope we're back in time for happy hour. You're definitely on vacation.
I said we will be back in time.
Oh, we
for
will
happy
be.
hour.
That was more of a demand. We will be back in time for happy hour. Yeah, we will be back in time for happy hour, and we're enjoying these couple days here in Puerto Escondido. I actually kind of like the vibe here. It's been relaxing, and now I'm going out to take a picture. It's about a 20-minute walk, so we're gonna walk that way, take a picture, and then I want to jump onto Lightroom and show you guys something I discovered a couple days ago. Made it to location, to the beach. I think this place is called Playa Carizalillo, something like that. And it is absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful, and looks like it'll be a really cool location for photography. The problem though is sunsets that way, it's clear blue skies, and I'm gonna be shooting straight into sunset, I think. So probably some exposure issues coming up, but it should be fun, and at the very least, it looks beautiful here. We decided to walk to the beach because we needed some exercise after lounging by the pool drinking mojitos for days. The only problem is my tripod is in the car. So no tripod for sunset, but I'm gonna make do with just setting it on my bag or a rock or something like that. Still gonna get long exposure photos even without a tripod. So my idea for the photo that I wanted was I was gonna kind of do a fine art landscape photography photo using these rocks that are beautifully exposed here in this clear water. But the problem is it's just so backlit that you can't really see them, and it's just gonna create silhouettes. So instead I'm hiking down this trail. It looks like there's like a viewpoint that I'll be able to shoot this whole beach at, putting the rocks in the foreground and get much more of a typical travel photo, which will actually probably sell better with clients anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do, even without a tripod. So I'm shooting like 2-minute exposures here because the beach is really busy. And I don't mind that there's people on the beach. I quite like it. It's a travel photo. It should look like people are traveling here. But I kind of want to make it a little bit more dramatic and really smooth out the water with a really long exposure. And all the people that are in the water will kind of blur out a little bit as well. And I think it's going to be a cool look. I think it's a cool travel photo, even if it is a little bit simple. To get that shot, I'm over there with a 10-stop ND, a 10-stop big stopper, and a 3-stop soft grad ND as well. And that's doing the trick. Now, I don't want to talk too much or vlog too much because I want to take you back and show you this Lightroom feature that I figured out. So instead there's just going to be a little bit of B-roll coming up, and I think I'm going to try like 5 or 6 different compositions. I'll share them with you as I go along, and then we'll get back to the resort and we'll jump on Lightroom. Okay, so done shooting in Puerto Escondido, and it was a fun shoot, maybe a little bit of a challenge without the tripod, but I like a good challenge every now and then, and it was a pretty cool location. The light wasn't perfect, but again, a cool location. Now, I was editing yesterday, and I came across something really interesting. When I updated my Lightroom, it said there was an auto edit. And I just dismissed it quick and I moved on. And then it was like, wait, what? There's an auto edit feature in Lightroom? And I was totally confused by it, and I spent like a little bit of time searching through Lightroom trying to figure it out, and I think I figured it out. So I'm over here on my laptop. This is an image that I edited from that shoot out at Puerto Escondido, and you can see my edits here. They're a little bit on the strong side. They're 21 contrast, 57 minus highlights, 50 shadows, plus 32 on the whites, clarity up 20, vibrance up 49, and then I did some other things as well, like a gradient filter across. I cropped it in a bit because it was a little bit too unbalanced, and I did a couple things to this image, but a pretty standard edit, other than, yeah, I guess the gradient thing was probably the biggest thing that I don't think an auto edit would figure out. And then the other thing is the thing that I do to every single image, every single photo. When I bring it into Lightroom, I always remove chromatic aberration, and I always enable the profile corrections to especially fix the vignetting that happens on my 16 to 35, as well as the distorted horizon. So that's a pretty standard edit, really quick from me. And now getting into this auto editing, it doesn't make sense to me because every photo is going to be different, and I don't think that there's an editing software in the world that will ever be able to figure out what you want to do to an image. And auto editing for me just takes away like 50% of the process, because I do think that photo editing is really a part of your personal style as a photographer, even if, and this is true, I hate photo editing. I really dislike photo editing. So I guess at the very least I was curious. And so I searched through the photo editing to try to figure this all out. This is the exact same image. I made a virtual copy before I started editing it, but this is totally unedited. And you can see the crop is different, and maybe let's just crop it quick to make it look like the same crop as the one before. I think I did something like that. And then done. Now, I never noticed this before, but the white balance might have been like this the whole time. I always used to use the white balance selector and find something gray to fix the white balance, but there's also this, and I'm not sure if I just didn't notice this before, but this is right here, and you can just click auto white balance, and it'll figure out what it thinks the white balance should be. I think that's a little bit warm and a little bit green, and I'll leave it as shot. Now, here's the part that's crazy. This is the part that I didn't expect, and there's an auto button right here. And again, I don't know if this has been here forever and I just didn't notice it, or if it was that update that happened and I went looking for it. But if you click on auto right here, it does all the adjustments for you like it thinks need to be done. And I find the edits quite interesting because it does correct a lot of things, but I think the main thing the auto editor does in Lightroom is it just tries to push the dynamic range a little bit. It tries to even the light and the dynamic range, which is quite interesting. But what I found in testing like 10 or 15 images is it basically does the same thing for every single image. It drops the highlights 52, almost the same as I did. Pushes the shadows 37, almost the same as I did. Pushes the whites 31, almost the same as I did. It brings back the blacks 15, which I didn't do because I added contrast. But the interesting part is it removes contrast here while pulling it out here on a more tonal side of things. It also adds 18 vibrance and 4 saturation, and the end result is pretty interesting. It's a little bit bright out here, so I'm having a bit of a hard time seeing it, but if we were to use the gradient I used to kind of fix this part here, which was something like that, we almost have the exact same image. I guess we probably also have to go down and fix the remove chromatic aberration and enable profile correction. And we come up with that. And the interesting part is the edit is almost the exact same as I did. So this is the image they did with the auto, with a couple of my additions, and then this is my version now. So it's amazing how similar it is, and the only real difference is the fact that I added contrast, they removed contrast. So I don't know what to think about it. I think that it's kind of a quick way to do things, and you're much better off finding out a style that you like and then creating a preset for it and just pasting that to all your images and then making micro edits from there. I tend to edit like one image from a whole series of similar images, and then I'll edit that exactly the way I want it, and then I'll copy the settings onto all the other images into the set, and it just makes things easier because I can then go into each image and just make micro adjustments to each one rather than having to kind of tediously do the same things over and over again. So I think it's very interesting. There's an auto edit feature on Lightroom. Automatic photo editing is something I think every photographer has thought will come along at some point, and I think it's really interesting that it's now here with Lightroom. So that's it for the quick photo edit at the end of today's video. In 2018, this is something I want to do a little bit more often, maybe once a month or twice a month or something like that. Just bring you into my laptop and show you what I'm doing from a photo editing standpoint each day. So that's it for today. That's it for Puerto Escondido. It's off to Oaxaca next, and I'll see you there. Peace.